Because they may Zoom started.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me see if I can find my camera. We had a fire alarm. It kind of threw me off.
Just a drill. Just a drill. Nobody thinks to worry. You know, all those new parents tend to worry. Not as
Yeah,
old
no,
parents.
it's just a drill.
Not as old parents.
Okay. All right, we ready to get rock and roll. I'm just going to share my screen so everyone can see, and then we can get started. Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to Midtown's Go Team meeting, where before we get started, can we have someone to volunteer to do the minutes for today?
Because Audra can't be here today, right?
Right, so we have someone here to do the minutes for us. Do we have any volunteers?
I mean, I can do it. I can try to do it. I don't have a lot of talking on this one, so I'll do it.
Miss Montgomery is saying she'll do it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same. Okay.
All right. So, good afternoon. Welcome to the Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Midtown High School Go Team to order at 4:17 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll. Let me see. Gotta find them. I gotta find another. Dr. Bachman.
Yes. Yes.
We need the roll. Oh my God. We trying to get the roll, Dr. Bachman. I sincerely apologize, everyone. Thank you for your patience. We wanted it to be a quick meeting, but my goofiness will not allow that.
This fall at Callaway, our memories shine bright with gardens by day and glow by night. There's biking, sunflowers, and birds of prey.
I'm looking for the email from Miss Reese where she had the roll. Audrey. All right, Audra, note-taking, email.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I have the roster finally. Dr. Bachman, Jennifer Keenan, Audra Reese.
I can't hear them. Are they,
Hello, am I still on?
or can they put a hand up? Can
Could
they
you
raise
do
their
a hand, raise your hand, or say
Just say
here?
here.
Am I still logged in?
Yeah.
Jennifer Keenan, okay, Tracy Naylor. Stacy Tanner, Roderick Hill,
Present.
Leah Matthews,
Present.
Wilgina Montgomery is present, Nadia Rivera,
Here.
Sydney Newton.
Here.
How many people is that? One.
They say 16 on wrong.
Do we have a quorum for present?
So we have 3 absent, right? Audra, Jennifer, and
Yeah.
Tracy? Is that
No,
right?
Yeah.
I'm here. Jennifer's here.
Okay, Jennifer is here.
And you didn't call Fisher?
Yeah.
Keenan. Marcus Fisher is here.
Then we have a quorum.
Okay.
Yes, we have quorum.
Oh, you didn't. Hi,
So
I'm
who-
Erin Sharp. You didn't call me by any chance? I know I'm.
we gotta
Oh,
put
we
you
didn't
on
call
there.
you because we have not elected you we have to elect you. I apologize.
Hang on a minute.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. But hi, Eden, welcome.
Last name Naylor.
Hi.
Tracy Naylor.
Is she here?
Is Tracy Naylor here? Okay, so at this time, what we're going to do is we're going to approve the agenda. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here where it's in the Google Drive. Are there any changes to the agenda? And it should be on your screen. So we're going to approve the minutes, agenda, then the minutes, strategic plan, fill our student go team vacancy. All right.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
All in favor say aye.
But you need to get a second first, Ms. Tanner.
Oh, can I get a second? Ms.
Second.
Montgomery okay, there's Jennifer second. All in favor say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
There's everyone. Opposed, nay? Okay. So, based on our previous minutes, does anyone have any discrepancy regarding the minutes? That should be in your folder, your Go Team folder from last week. No?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so if there are no further corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I go ahead and motion.
Montgomery makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Fisher. All in favor say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Are there any abstentions? All right, so our first order of business is to, I think perhaps the strategic plan update. Do we have any strategic plan updates, or I think this is in the wrong place? So I would like to make a correction to the agenda right now and do an update in the discussion items section. Is that okay? All in favors? Okay. So first of order of business is we are going to fill the vacancy for our student Go Team member. Eden, if you would, could you turn on your camera and tell us a little bit about yourself?
So this is
Yeah.
what, can I just say, this is people may know Eden Sharp, I'm bringing forward to fill the vacancy, the other vacancy. We have Sydney Newton and Eden Sharp for our student reps.
Okay.
Right.
Do you want me to just say a couple things about myself?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
ma'am.
Okay. Hi, I'm Eden Sharp. I am a junior at Midtown here at Midtown. I guess a couple things. I am the one who established the recycling process that we have currently at Midtown, the current one at the moment. I'm involved in a bunch of clubs around the school, including Mock Trial, along with Beta Club and the Mental Health Advisory Board and stuff like that. I don't know if any of you guys know me from that at all. Think that's trying to think of other things about myself at the moment, but that's all I can. Yeah.
Ms. Tanner, if I can just say, Eden started the recycling club. She did a lot of work to do that, talking to people in the central office, the facilities department. There's always some stops and starts with that, but she was very, very persistent, and we have a really good program in place. So kudos to you, Eden. Really, really good program, and I hope after you're gone next year when you're senior, it continues. So we keep it going, but really nice, great project.
I hope so too.
Okay, so at this time, we're going to vote for Eden to fill the seat as our student representative for the Go Team. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, well, no, we have to call the names and then you gotta say yes or no. All right, so Dr. Bachman,
I don't vote, so
oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not a voter.
Jennifer, we need your vote.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Tracy. Fisher. Is Tracy
Yay.
absent? I vote yes. Hill,
Yay.
Leah Matthews,
Yes.
Regina Montgomery,
Yes.
yes. Nadia Rivera,
Yes.
and Sydney Newton.
Yes.
All right. So welcome Eden Sharp to the Go Team. Yay! You are our second student member. You are our co-student member of the, well, you are a student member of our Go Team. Okay. All right. Congratulations. And thank you for your hard work with the recycling club. That's amazing. It's Earth Club and Recycling, or is Earth. So thank you a lot. All right. All right, so let's continue. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through our agenda. It's amazing how slow the computers are when you are on Zoom. I don't know if any of you guys have ever noticed that, but it's like super duper slow.
Eden, this is Jennifer Keenan. The Go Team office asked me to send them your email address. Can you just put it in the chat and I'll grab it from there and I can send it into the Go Team,
Yes.
the downtown.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so our meeting is very short because basically we are just reviewing what we did last week, and we are just simply going to prioritize any aspect of this. Very slow. This is moving so slow. So this week we're going to do our strategic plan. We already looked at the strategic plan and our CIP. So by monitoring the plan and ranking priorities, we can all work towards our common goal. So we'll be using the priorities in the strategic plan, and the school leadership team has developed an improvement plan for this current school year. So our first thing is our current strategic plan, and then our improvement plan, which we're kind of ahead of the game because we discussed all of that last week, and then we're going to prioritize. So in our current strategic plan, our priorities are basically fostering academic excellence for all. So we're going to offer rigorous and culturally sustaining curriculum that prepares the students for college, career, data curriculum, and instruction signature program, which is our STEAM program. And so our goal is for a percentage of the students who graduate in 4 years to increase to 93% by 2025. We're going to continue to build a culture of student support, and that is by creating collaborative, inclusive, and responsive school culture. And then our whole child intervention, and personalized learning will build teachers and counselors' knowledge and understanding. And the goal is to increase the attendance from 86% to 91%. And we did receive an award for having the highest attendance for high school for September and August and September, Dr. Bachman.
Yes.
All right. Then we're going to empower the leaders and the staff. And we're going to do that by valuing teachers' time, by ensuring sustainable workload, offsetting new responsibilities with reduced tasks and increased compensation when possible, directly soliciting the act of teacher input regarding course selection, professional development, instructional resources, and provide mechanism for teachers to increase leadership and mitigate burnout. And so by 2025, our plan is to establish a celebration and support for staff by providing a minimum of 2 quarterly staff wellness and SEL opportunities. And we just had one last week where we celebrated all the October birthdays with King of Pops. So then we are also going to create a system of school support by 2025. We would like to offer at least 6 active parent engagement and volunteering opportunities per semester. And so that will be done by providing necessary and salient resources to enhance teaching and learning, ensure parents and guardians of Midtown students feel welcomed, and increase the diversity in parents involved in functions. And so then I'm just reviewing because we did this last week. We've already went through that, but do you see us choosing a different type of strategy to focus on for the school year? Does anyone have any input regarding that? Could you just shake your head so I can
No, that covered a lot. That was a lot. So I think that's more than enough.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So in our continuous improvement plan, some of the things we're going to focus on is, our challenge is the DSE student achievement in Algebra 1. So basically, we're going to just focus on students performing proficient and above on the Algebra 1 milestones assessment. And we're going to...
DSE stands for Students with Disabilities, just for anybody that's not familiar with that.
Okay. And then for literacy, Dr. Bachman, would you like to take this portion?
Ken, if you make it larger, like a lot larger.
Okay. Let me see. Because I was struggling a little bit. I might have to put out my readers. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So as Ms. Tanner said, we've gone over our goals for literacy, numeracy, whole child intervention. And especially when I talk about the attendance there, the whole child intervention, our average daily attendance rate decreased by 1.2. That was for last year. But we are doing a really, really, really good job. And as you know, I put money towards hiring somebody, Kristen Robinson, who is our attendance specialist. And you did make reference to the attendance, but I do want to say, we also had, can you see that? Highest employee attendance for August and September, as well as student attendance for August and September high schools. Midtown had the best. So I do feel like we're making some really great strides with the attendance. I think we're going to do a lot better this year. So with the special ed students performing, we want proficient and above on the American Lit milestones, and then the Algebra 2, as Ms. Tanner said, we want to have a much higher, we don't want these decreases in the proficient and above. We don't want that. So we hired an additional teacher for our class sizes to be low. Our algebra classes are 20 to 22 in just the on-level 9th grade, and we have the algebra support. We added an algebra support section. So really trying to do more one-on-one, increased interaction with teacher and student. So I'll talk a little bit more about some efforts when I get to my little principal's report. So I don't really want to go review this. We went over this before. We've kind of been over this. Yeah, I mean, all this is available too on our website, but yeah. Okay, so Ms. Tanner, you want me to continue with this? Is that what you're asking me to do? Or we do have MAP coming up at the end of November. We went over the MAP scores last time.
Right, and the MAP scores that we have were from our fall test, and we have another test, MAP test is going to be November 28th and 29th. So these are the overall MAP scores that we have for the fall of 2023, showing our achievement in mathematics and overall in reading, which is basically a higher percentage than Atlanta Public Schools.
Dr. Bachman, is there any opportunity for the Go team to push to opt out of a cycle of MAP testing? I know you've expressed frustration with how much testing there is. I'm baffled that we're going to have another round in November. I feel like we just finished the round.
The seniors are done with MAP testing, and the juniors will not test. I believe it's this one, the juniors won't, but they'll do again in spring.
Is there?
We won't do as much, but the freshmen and sophomores will still do MAP 3 times a year. Juniors just have a lot of testing. You know, we may not.
But yeah, are there any opportunities to decrease the testing? Or maybe I'll just personally opt my daughter out, but I guess that's the option. Parents can just say they don't want their kid tested, but I feel like my daughter was just tested. She just did MAP testing.
Right, they did it in late August. And then, you know, the problem is then we did the PSAT as well. So there is a lot of testing. And last year I did a lot of fussing about testing, a lot of fussing about testing. Was on a committee for something. We had 4 or 5 meetings. Yeah, I mean, I was very vocal in my disagreement with how often we do, especially these tests, you know, the pre-ACT and the ACT they added last year. That was for juniors. And, you know, so, yeah, I continue to raise those concerns.
Well, is there anything we can do as a Go team to support that?
I mean, we can write a letter of some kind to Matt Smith, who's the director of assessment. Joe Austin is also high up in there. That's the one we had the committee with, the task force with. And they did away with the seniors doing MAP after this first one, and then they did away with one of the junior maps for juniors. But everybody is pretty wedded to the fact that their test is very important in the departments. And so I mean, I'm happy if we want to have a little committee, or if we want to have a meeting, committee meeting to work on something, a letter, just continuing to express concerns, because it does take away classroom time. I know our biology teachers, since we have one on the call, biology teachers feel a lot of pressure. There's a lot of curriculum in the scope and sequence, a lot, and you have to just keep moving. And when something like this happens, a PSAT or whatever it is, MAP testing, it really slows down. But you can't slow down. It's the testing is not just, it's a lot of stress on the teachers too, because of the time.
Yeah, if I could say, just to kind of speak to that, right now in the biology department, we are thinking about independently here at Midtown trying to eliminate maybe one of the units and use that unit as more of a supporting unit throughout the other 4 units that are left. So maybe just only having 2 units in the first semester and then 2 units in the second semester, and it gives us more time to kind of dive into the content a little deeper. But from the district level, there's not enough days in the month or in the year, honestly, to kind of get through all the content at that pace. We really have to be tackling it. And then some days are just not accounted for. Like, for example, finals week is not really an instructional day. It's just for testing, but it's counted as instructional days within, for example, our unit of studies. So.
Yeah.
Do parents have the ability to opt out?
Okay.
So at this time, what we're going to do is our, well, first question, do we have any updates for our strategic plan?
Well, Ms. Tanner, I want to ask a question, if I could.
Okay. Yes.
I want to ask basically, and maybe I'm naive to this point, but are we reviewing any data from any of our cluster schools, primarily like Howard, to see how the kids are averaging out at the middle school level in preparation for coming to high school, and that's receiving them and trying to kind of guide them into high school curriculum? Just as a measuring point, not necessarily that we have to do anything with the data, but just kind of analyze it.
So we look at the math, and we use the data in order to place kids sometimes in, say, the double math or foundations of algebra. We look at a lot of data points to place kids in 9th grade in the right place. So we, Ms. Palekia and Mr. Vincent, do that. I think now with Ms. Hollis there that we would probably do even more about that and more with that. So that's kind of the data that we get from Howard and Centennial, our 2 major feeder schools. But Sergeant Major Fisher, if you could think about some other, like, what other data points do you think teachers might want to know? Or Mr. Hill, you're a 9th grade teacher too. What are there other data points? You can see like their Lexile score. You can look and see on the, when you look at SLDS, you can see some things, but what are some other things you might want to know or see?
Well, that's the first piece from the academic standpoint, Dr. Bachman, but then also based on our strategic goals and plans, a lot of things we can see a chronic history of absenteeism. We can see those kind of anchor biters that have been, kind of chronic with those respective students. So we have an idea on who we're inheriting. And so we can kind of shape, because I know we have something coming up here in the next couple of weeks with the emerging ninth graders.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be speaking with parents and kind of, I know we can massage, the tone in which we deliver this message, but we kind of lay out the foundations of, hey, your kids are in high school. Here are some of our primary expectations, and here's what's going to be expected of you at the high school level based on a lot of these things that we're seeing here within our strategic goals and plans.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to look at their 7th grade life science scores and kind of like dig deep into those scores a little bit deeper, kind of maybe at a smaller level, at a granular level, looking at their data as far as different domains that are on that 7th grade EOC, the 7th grade milestone test, and just kind of seeing where they're strong and where they're weak at, if there's any trends there that we could look at and maybe provide some remediation early on in the year or the semester.
And for our people on the call, the 7th grade science is very closely related to 9th grade, which is why Mr. Hill's saying that. And he's also very protective of 7th grade because that's what he used to teach 7th grade life science. So, yeah, but that's the connection there.
But I was under the impression that you could find that information at SLDS on Anthony.
I don't know what I think maybe the basic score, but not necessarily.
Oh, drill down. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I know that we can get that from Thomas Sugimoto, who is our data person in APS. He'd be happy. He loves data and he loves to do reports and he loves to really serve us. So I know he would help with that, help us break that down. So you're right, Sergeant Major Fisher. Maybe we can hit that in November when we're meeting with the 9th grade Rising Ninth. We had our initial meeting with Rising Ninth a few weeks ago, but we can definitely talk about that, the importance, so that they can talk to their kids about it too, their 8th graders.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so at this time, we're going to have our principals report.
Okay. All righty. So nobody had any necessarily anything with the strategic plan. We're good with the strategic plan and we're good with the priorities. Just want to make sure that everybody's good with that, with our priorities. Okay. All right. So just a few things that are happening, really going on now, is we're focused very heavily on unit recovery, credit recovery, trying to get kids caught up. So, we just had a grading period the first quarter, and we see where a lot of students have failed some things or failed some units. And so we're doing a lot of kind of innovative things to try to catch this now before it gets to December. And perhaps there's an F on the transcript, and then recovery means the whole class again. So we have something called Grad U, which is what I would call our mini Phoenix. And so Phoenix is a program that's at the old Krim High School building on Memorial. And what Phoenix does is it's usually 11th and 12th graders and maybe some kids that would be 5th year seniors. But so Phoenix tries to really accelerate kids through by focusing them on like 3 or 4 classes at a time, working on those, finishing them, moving on to the next. It's for kids that are credit deficient. And so that works really well. But a lot of our students that might qualify for that, they don't want to go there because they love Midtown. No one ever wants to leave Midtown. And so we're doing a little bit of, we call it Grad U here in my conference room. So every day, Ms. Roberts, who's our graduation coach, and Dr. Namias, who's student support coordinator, they have a group of students that are actually on their role, because they are both certified teachers, on their role for classes, and they are working with, it's about 8 kids to really, really try to accelerate them, to keep them motivated, and so that they can complete classes. And that's working really well. We've been doing that since we came back from the break, so the fall break. And so it's 2 weeks, working really, really well. Students are having a lot of success on these units. recovery units. So very happy about that. Today, we also started something, a unit recovery thing for a larger number of students, and we're focusing on biology and civics right now. So mainly ninth graders, students who have failed a unit or a portion of the class so far, once a week, pulling kids down to the multipurpose room. And again, well, Dr. Namias, Ms. Roberts, Mr. Wallace, and Ms. Head, who are 504 people, are working with those students to do recovery of the unit. Then they take tests, quizzes, and tests. They're proctored. So that's unit recovery. Edgenuity is the platform for that, and that's working really well. Today was the first day, but Dr. Namis came to tell me all about what's going on down there, and it's really, really very focused. Kids very happy that somebody is trying to help them, that they're not doing it on their own. You know, it's very intimidating if you're a 9th or 10th grader and you're failing and you don't know how to kind of stop that train, and then it gets to December. So we're trying to catch it really early. As you all know, that's part of our goal this year as a school is 100% of our kids reach 70% mastery. So basically that means no failures. So, but that's really our kind of our mantra, what we're trying to do. We're throwing everything at it with Saturday school, a lot of after school tutoring, test retakes, which is part of our kind of our grading goals this year. Is it's mandatory test retakes. If a student fails something, they can't hide from that. You're gonna retest after you've had some reteaching. And then if you fail the test again, then that's when you go to the Edgenuity, you recover the units, that kind of thing. So these are all platforms that are through APS. And so they're very excited. We're using these platforms. And again, it's kind of, the Grad U is kind of a mini Phoenix program over here. And the students are finding good success. And when you have success, you keep motivated and you try harder and you accomplish more. So very happy about that. You know, Eden's on the mental health advisory board, and we really are trying to do some things that just don't beat kids down into failure and then they can't. We're really part of a lot of the work of talking to the mental health advisory board was, there are a number of things, but it was this grading, doing something a little bit more equitable with grading, the retest, you know, more service projects here that students can participate in, more Saturday school. And so a lot of that is from the mental health advisory board, but this is going really well and I'm very proud of that. So we did last week, Ms. Palekia and I, 9th grade counselor, went and met over at Howard and met with a number of rising 9th parents. It was also live streamed so that other people could be a part of that. That's part of our transition program, and we'll have our next event in November, and then another in January, and another in March. So just a lot of care wrap around to the rising 9th parents and students. In January, the students will come over here, but so just a lot of that. That's what's kind of been going on. Any questions? Anybody wants to bring up?
No, ma'am.
We have had an awful lot of wonderful accolades, accomplishments, honors. If you read, you know, I'm a little bit old school, so I use Facebook to post most of these things for Midtown, but it's so much with the arts and academics and athletics. Really, really a lot. There's a lot to be proud of with this school. And I know that, you know, I really feel that when I go talk to Rising 9th or talk to other groups. The school has really, really got a lot. It's a lot to manage and a lot for our teachers, but it offers a very, very good, a really, really great experience for students and parents, I think. So, okay, Ms. Tanner, that's all. If if there are no questions, comments.
Okay. All right, so at this time, can we have a CAT meeting report from Jennifer?
I missed most of the meeting. I did not get the invitation. So I'm on the invitation for future meetings.
Okay. All right, so,
Just for the CAT meeting, the CAT is the cluster advisory team meeting where 2 people from each school in the Midtown cluster and all clusters get together with the central office and try to focus on strategic plan, things like that. This past meeting that we had, I guess last week, we were really focused on things that we do as a cluster together to try to bring engagement together. And we do so much, a lot in the arts, musical, the visual arts, STEAM things that Ms. Tanner's a huge part of. So that's what we were focusing on, is what do we do as a cluster, and what might we want more might we want to do as a cluster. And my hope is that we can do some things, not always at Midtown, but at some of the other schools, just so people get a sense of that. I know we have a large facility, but we also have a huge amount of activities here, and trying to coordinate all that can be a real challenge. So that's just something I brought up. Could we do some things maybe at Howard in the evening or that kind of thing to help with that? But so that was what we talked about in the CAT meeting.
just from what I know, we definitely are doing a cluster-wide STEAM ambassadors meeting. That's going to be February the 16th over at, we're going to go to the new school, Virginia Highlands Elementary School this year. So that's one of the things that we are doing. And we are using a resource at Howard as well as Midtown, which is Dynamo Studios, which is our music technology program. It's really evolving. It's a baby that's crawling fast, and it's gonna like do fantastic things here at the school. So I'm really excited about that. So that's my input. All right. Tomorrow we have a really big thing for the teachers I'm excited about. We'll have partners from Seismic over at Georgia Tech, the Georgia Tech Infrastructure Department is coming. Georgia Aquarium is for the teachers to be able to see stuff they can use in their classrooms for STEAM. So we're just trying to build and support the teachers as we make this transition. All right. So in our next meeting, we're going to discuss how our data is aligning to our strategic plan and determine if we need to make any adjustments. And before the end of the fall semester, we will take action, which means we will vote on ranking our strategic priorities for the 2024-25 school year. Let me know if you have any additional information you need for further discussion. All right, any questions or comments for the good of the whole? At this time, we'll take any public comment. I'm sorry, this is a public comment meeting. Do we have anyone that would like to make a public comment? All right, does anyone have any announcements? All right, so we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? All right, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'd
Come on, somebody.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn the 30 October 2023.
All right,
meeting.
Ms. Montgomery.
I second.
Okay, Ms. Montgomery second the motion. And at this time, our meeting is adjourned at 4:58 p.m. So we will see you next time. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks,
Be careful
everybody.
trick-or-treating.
Bye, King.
Thank you.